Hey everybody, Bungie gave us 2 articles today about upcoming changes to the Final Shape. Here is my live read of both. Hope you enjoy. Dev Insights, the Final Shape Armor Tuning Preview. Hello, this is the Armor team with an overview of some of the tuning changes we're making for the Final Shape. We've been primarily focused on updates to bring our existing armor and mods up to date for the release of the Prismatic subclass. This includes a fairly wide range of changes across our roster of exotic armor, as well as some updates to the specific weapon mods. In addition to that, we still managed to find the time to branch out a little, including putting together a little update for those of you just a few points short of that triple 100 stat loadout. Ayo! Okay. Subclass matching, Prismatic, and you. Our existing armor and mods were originally released in a world where each subclass was only ever a single element. Since that will no longer be true with the release of the Final Shape, we've taken a pass through our existing gear. For the most part, this meant updating exotic armor and armor mods to reference a player's equipped super element instead of a specific subclass. This allows their effects to function on Prismatic without changing their behavior on the original subclass. For example, the Titan Exotic Hoarfrost Z will require just a Stasis Super to be equipped, rather than the full Stasis subclass. We've also taken the opportunity to update the description of harmonic mods to better explain their behavior and to fully support strand on resistance mods. Are harmonic mods unclear? I feel like they're fairly clear, but okay. However, in a few places we wanted to make more meaningful changes. We've detailed them below along with our reasoning. Hunter. Triton Vice no longer requires a glaive that matches your subclass to trigger extra detonations. Given the limited pool of glaive options, we wanted to open this up to support a wider variety of builds. We also wanted to let the glaive melee bonus linger for a bit after you stop being surrounded, to add some ease of use and to bring it further into parity with Synthoceps. Got it. Glaive projectile final blows now always trigger a detonation that matches the glaive's damage type, even when the glaive does not match the equipped subclass. Okay, I feel like glaive people might be happy about that, jingle included. The surrounded effect provided by Triton Vice when wielding a glaive now lingers on the player for 5 seconds after no longer being surrounded. Okay. Dragon Shadow has been updated to trigger its effect when you use Ensnaring Slam or the new Ascension Arc aspect, opening up more build crafting combinations. Okay, that's good. I like Dragon Shadow. I don't use it a ton, but I do like it. Foe Tracer now grants the bonus damage it inflicts on a target to weapons. Okay. The damage type also matches that of the ability used to damage the target, instead of always matching your equipped subclass. With Prismatic, you can apply a variety of different damage elements with your abilities, and this change allows Foe Tracer to buff multiple different weapon damage types instead of just the one that matches your subclass or super element. Okay. That is pretty interesting. I'll have to think about that. We wanted to add an additional benefit to the 6th Coyote, along with Armamentarium for Titans, since otherwise the Spirit of the Coyote perk on the new exotic class items would have granted the same benefit as the original exotic. We took inspiration from Claw's Vahamkara and added the ability for the 6th Coyote to create orbs of power from final blows after using your class ability. Ooh. Okay. Alright, that's a nice little glow up for the Coyote. This is implemented as the exotic, granting a free copy of the Reaper Armor Mods effect. Got it. Renewal Grasp has been updated to grant the new Frost Armor Stasis keyword instead of a bespoke damage reduction effect. We did talk a little bit about before the article dropped. We're figuring a couple changes today are going to be really leaning into both Prismatic or Frost Armor because that was dropped yesterday. Or we learned more about that yesterday. On entering your Duskfield grenade volume, you or your allies gain a stack of Frost Armor. I think they mentioned that the other day. After about every 0.9 seconds, an additional stack of Frost Armor is granted, resetting your timer. Yay! Frost Armor. Wait a minute. Is this it for Hunter? There's no change for the Lucky Pants? Oh my god. Yeah, Viso in the chat. No Lucky Pants nerf. How did they fucking escape that? How did they get out of that? Oh man. Lucky Pant Wardens, Law Hunters on top, dude. They stay winning. Maybe there will be more at another point in time. I don't know. Star Eater. Okay, we saw this coming. Star Eater has always been a strong exotic, but after the Lightfall changes to armor mods, Orbs of Power are much easier to come by. We want to adjust Star Eater scales to balance the effort required to gain its powerful effects. On top of this, we are making a change regarding its efficiency when paired with multiple players running Golden Gun to reduce potential for fire teams to loop supers indefinitely, right, which we've been doing in Pantheon. Increased the Orbs of Power required to grant maximum benefits from 4 to 6, reduced the increased super energy gained per orb of power when the Golden Gun is equipped from 2% down to 0.5%. We updated Ursa Furiosa to improve... Oh, that's it. All right. Yeah. All right, I guess we'll just move to Titan now. Yeah. We knew that the Star Eater shit was going on. They mentioned that yesterday. Okay. Titan. We updated Ursa Furiosa to improve the new Void aspect Unbreakable, in addition to its previous effects. Now provides increased movement speed while guarding with Unbreakable. Also grants super energy for guarding with Unbreakable. Okay. This energy scales based on the amount of incoming damage the shield absorbs. I'm looking forward to doing Ursa Void Titan shit in Final Shape, especially with those whale changes. I know that, like, you know, damage number wise, it'll probably still make more sense depending on the encounter or the fight to just go 1 whale, 6 rockets or whatever, rather than 5 rockets, 1 Ursa Titan. But hey, man, if it's a 2-phase either way and the Ursa 2-phase is easier, I don't know, man. Worth the conversation. Eternal Warrior no longer requires an arc subclass for arc final blows to grant escalating arc weapon damage bonus. This allows it to synergize with prismatic builds more easy. Okay. Its behavior related to Fist of Havoc is unchanged. Like the 6th Coyote above, Armamentarium was updated with an additional benefit beyond granting a second grenade charge. It now creates Orbs of Power from grenade final blows. Nice. This is implemented as the exotic, granting a free copy of the Firepower armor mods effects. Okay, bet. Kepri's Horn was feeling lackluster in many situations, so we increased the potency of its Solar Blast, the ugliest goddamn exotic in the game. Increased the damage from the Solar Blast by, wow, 100% in PvE. Holy shit. Okay. The Solar Blast now scorches each time it hits a target instead of scorching only one time. Okay. Kepri's Horn now benefits from Ember of Eruption and Ember of Ashes, plus 30 Scorch in PvE and 15 PvP. Okay. Interesting. I may consider putting that on. Oh, here we go. Heart of Inmost Light. Hilo buffs in the HUD could easily crowd out other important information. We felt that it could be less verbose in the HUD feedback, so now it displays a single consolidated effect icon, woof, to communicate its state instead of 2 to 3 it used before. Got it. Functionality of the exotic is unchanged. Damn. My buddy Jason was predicting maybe a buff to Hilo or a change to Hilo, but I don't think that change is what he predicted. Just, yeah, we're cleaning up the text in the HUD. Just a UI buff. Enjoy. Syntho is an exotic all about being in the thick of a group of enemies, and its effects are potent to offset the inherent danger of being surrounded. However, we felt it was too easy to carry those powerful effects once triggered, far less dangerous 1v1 encounters. Reduce the amount of time that bionic enhancement lingers after no longer being surrounded from 8 to 5 seconds. This duration is now visible as a timer on the buff. That could have been way worse. That could have been way, way worse. I feel like the Strand Titans are still going to be kind of cheesed about it. They're still going to be a little bit cheesed out because, you know, Strand Titans took a little bit of a beating the other day. and this does not help. But that could have been way worse. That could have been way, way worse. Considering how fucking popular synthos are. They are really, really, really popular in PvE at higher levels. Interesting. Yeah, this is not the TWID, by the way. Yeah, in the chat, not the TWID. This is a pre-TWID dev article. Okay, reading on. Severance Enclosure is a particularly noisy exotic when it comes to its effects blasting enemies around the battlefield. We wanted to alleviate some of the noise and awkwardness around the explosions to better bring them in line with other area effects on exotics. Its explosions now require line of sight. What the hell? To damage enemies. We also reduced the knockback intensity of those explosions, which will now launch enemies more consistently vertically. That's kind of annoying. You need line of sight to damage enemies? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to talk to Cool Guy about that. He's big on that exotic. I don't know about that, man. A lot of these were... Yeah. Checking out that dev hour. Isn't that technically a nerf? Yeah. Yeah, we know this is a really noisy exotic. We're helping you out by nerfing it. I don't know. Warlock. Hey, we predicted Mantle of Battle Harmony. True Vanguard. Let's do if True Vanguard will be happy or sad. Has been adjusted to grant more super energy for defeating powerful enemies, and the cooldown on granting super energy has been removed. This is intended to make it more potent in a wider variety of activities. Got it. Now grants super energy ranging between 1.5% and 4.5%, depending on the target type killed. Removed the 2-second cooldown for the perk's activation. Balador's Wrath Weavers have been updated to grant the new Frost Armor Stasis keyword, okay, instead of the old Stasis Shard Overshield. Yeah, it's not bad for Mantle of Battle Harmony. That's not bad. That's not... I am whelmed. I am whelmed. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. Has been updated to grant new Frost Armor Stasis keyword instead of the old Stasis Shard Overshield. Right. We mentioned that, or they mentioned that in the article yesterday. Activating your Rift gives you and nearby allies the maximum Frost Armor stacks when Frost Pulse is equipped. When activating your Winter's Wrath Shatter attack, grants nearby allies the maximum amount of stacks of Frost Armor. When your Winter's Wrath ends, you gain maximum stacks of Frost Armor. Okay. These are kind of not as wild. Some of these are notable, but not wild. Does that make sense? Notable, but not wild. Scant Filament's Empowering Rift will now reset a player's existing Devour buff duration back to 11 when they enter it, in addition to its previous behavior. Oh, okay. That isn't bad. That's kind of nice. Okay. All right. Maybe that'll be a little spicy with Prismatic or with all the Void Warlock changes we read the other day. Okay, not bad. Keep an eye on that. but this one goes to 11. Verity's Brow now requires final blows with a weapon matching your grenade damage type instead of one matching your equipped subclass. Right. This better supports using it on Prismatic. That makes sense. That's nice. Sunbracers, oh boy, has seen quite a bit of time in the sun. Oh boy. We wanted to bring down some of its extreme potency in crowd control while also tackling the visual noise it produces on the battlefield. However, we didn't want to remove its core identity of blanketing the battlefield in solar light. Okay, reduced the increased solar grenade duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. 4 to 2? Oh man, reduced the increased grenade recharge rate to... Wait, hold on. Reduced its increased grenade recharge rate to allow a max of 4 grenades when the effect is active, down from 5. Woof. Woof. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a stinky change. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. But kind of expected, right? Kind of expected. You know, Sunbracer Warlocks have been living high on the hog for a while now. Damn. Oh well. When multiple warlocks used Cenotaph on a single target, it resulted in far more heavy ammo than was healthy for the sandbox. It also pushed fire teams into all using the same build, which is more reductive than we would like. Multiple players using Cenotaph can no longer trigger its effect using a single enemy target. Cenotaph's target lock visual marker is now hidden for the exotic wearers and only appear to the wearer's allies. Just to let people know, hey, this is being marked. Okay, I guess that makes more sense. So you can see what's being marked if you're not wearing the exotic. Okay, Cenotaph kind of got off light. That was, I was kind of worried that it could have been hit way harder. Yeah, Maggie, what, why? Yeah, I never thought that was really a problem. Because when I'm marking an enemy with Cenotaph, everyone on my team is like, oh, he's beaming that enemy over there. Yeah, well, I feel like we should also be able to see it just because sometimes you shoot it too quick. Like sometimes you're shooting it and it doesn't get marked right away. And then eventually it gets marked. I feel like that might be a weird change. Why not include it for us too? That way I know when I can stop shooting it. So I'm like, oh, it's marked. I can now stop shooting it. It's kind of weird. I don't know if that change needed to be made. Great for the people on the fire team who really know what enemy is being marked. But like, can you not already see what enemy is being shot by a trace rifle? Right? It's kind of weird. I don't know about that. Oh well. Powered melee and armor effects. The term powered melee was always intended to mean spending a melee charge. However, subclass elements like combination blow or knockout would allow players to circumvent that cost. This makes it difficult to balance the potency of effects that require a powered melee, especially across all classes and subclasses. We want to standardize this better across the sandbox. We are standing by updating Severance Enclosure and Assassin's Cowl to only trigger their effects when a player spends a melee charge or uses a finisher to get a final blow. We plan on rolling this type of change out to more content that triggers powered melee in future updates. Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let me let that marinate. Yep. Let me let that marinate. I think the Arc Assassin Cowl Hunters may be upset by this.
Hunters upset by something?
Hunters upset by something? No. Couldn't be. That would never happen. Updating Severance Enclosure and Assassin's Cowl to only trigger their effects when a player spends a melee charge or uses a finisher to get a final blow. More on that later. Exotic Artifice upgrades. Even if you spent the time to get that triple 100 Artifice armor set for your build, one piece was always a bit left out. Whether you're looking to make everything match or get that final plus the resilience, or just want to get your hands on Artifice gear for the first time, we figured it was about time for us to tie up that loose end. With the release of the Final Shape, Exotic Armor will now be able to access the unique mod slot. Oh, that's good. Exotic Armor can now be upgraded after it has been fully masterworked, granting an Artifice mod slot. That's kind of... That is big. Comes at the cost of an Exotic Cipher and 10k Glimmer. Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah, that's a good... That's a good change. Helping people lock up their 100 builds a little easier. That's great. Oh, man. Yeah, I really like that change. Great change. Good change. Completely based. Why does it have a cost? Have you heard the expression of looking a gift horse in the mouth, my brother? Have you heard of looking a gift horse in the mouth? They should give me a 100 loadout for free. They should give it to me for free. I get it. Look, it's kind of annoying. Just look on the bright side, right? Easier triple hundo shit, right? I wish it was a golf ball instead of a cipher. I do too. Yeah, a golf ball would be a little bit better than a cipher. Ciphers are kind of annoying. Yeah, Steve, I agree with that. I agree with that. But, yeah. Moving on. Ammo Finder update. Oh boy. In the live game now, heavy and special Ammo Finder armor mods reset their progress towards an ammo brick whenever you die. This leads to players receiving less ammo in harder difficulty activities, especially if they are playing right on the edge of their skill level. In fact, if you were unlucky enough with the timing of your character dying, it was possible to never get any Finder ammo bricks at all. In the Final Shape, we wanted to make ammo finders more predictable for all players across all activities. So heavy and special ammo finder armor mods will persist their progress towards an ammo brick through death. That's big. That explains a fucking lot, by the way. Yeah, Maggie, that's the thing. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Cut to my team in week 4 fighting Nezarek in Pantheon. There's no fucking there's no ammo. Where's all the heavy ammo? Yeah, that makes sense. On runs where we do really good and don't die, like a shitload of heavy ammo laying around. And then runs where we wipe due to fucking up the shelter mechanic. It's like, where's all the ammo? Okay. A lot of dots are being connected in my brain right now. In the Final Shape, we wanted to make more ammo finders more predictable for all players across every activity. Heavy and special ammo finder armor mods will persist their progress towards an ammo brick through death. Great. This means you will always get a finder brick if you defeat enough enemies, regardless of how many times you die along the way. I think that is deserving of a golf clap. Because of this change, we have disabled ammo finder mods in Crucible. And player kills will no longer grant ammo finder progress in Gambit. That makes sense. Because if they didn't disable that in PvP, then that change would bleed into PvP. Yeah, that makes sense. We also found this change dramatically increased the amount of ammo players would receive on average. Okay. So we've increased the kill requirement. Okay, for both special and heavy ammo finder by 20% for Guardians in a fire team. Solo Guardians, however, have no one to resurrect them when they are defeated, so we have left their kill requirements unchanged. Aha. They work in Crucible now? No. They don't work in Crucible now. But they're saying with this change, because the counter will reset when you die, or it will not reset when you die, that change would bleed into Crucible. So they're disabling them in Crucible to make sure that when this change comes, it doesn't bleed into PvP. Does that make sense? Great. Grand. Wonderful. Is that Anno typing her heart out in the background? Yes, it is.
Talk about dragons.
You're not even doing work. You're
Sorry, Dungeons and Dragons is doing it. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was like, man, she's typing up a storm. Work must be busy. I appreciate. Yeah, you're forgiven because I love you, and because you're giving me a burrito. Where was I? No yelling on the bus. Raid armor mods. The narrow application of raid mods allows us to give them potent benefits unique to the raids in which they are used. However, while these benefits are strong, they don't currently feel impactful enough in practice, especially since they may not fit into your existing build. As a result, with the release of the Final Shape, we are making it much easier to layer these extra elements into your loadouts as you go for that perfect weapon roll. Removed all mod energy cost from raid-specific armor mods. Oh, okay. Do people use raid armor mods? I forget that they're a thing. I don't even go in when I'm doing a raid clear. I'm not like, hold on, y'all. Let me put on my raid armor so I can take advantage. I feel like the only raid armor I ever used was in Garden, right? Was in Garden for that shit when the linking the tower. The Garden mods are pretty pog, but I don't really actively change my loadout to accommodate, low mans. They're probably good in low mans, maybe in speedrunning too. Yeah, if you're trying to like eke out every advantage that you can possibly get when clearing a raid. It's just like a lot of my armor rolls on raid armor is like bad, you know? It's just not good. I don't know. This week in Destiny, we are showing the way. Only 2 more weeks until the final shape. Goddamn. And we still have plenty of time, plenty of news to share with y'all. How about a preview of a new world system and a quality of life UI update? These topics and more below. You got the Vidoc, Season of the Wish closing. Have you played the new mission? Be part of the Twitch Rivals. Oh man, that should be fun. Extra brave weapons for everybody. Read our abilities and armor tuning articles. We did. Find out how... Ooh, Pathfinder. Okay, great. Updates to the quest tabs. Reminder about legendary shards. Right. Pantheon, last 2 gods are here. Any god slayers in the chat? Type 1. So was our poster inspired by the Pantheon bosses. Check our new collab with Steel series. That does look cool. Final Shape, Downtime Notice. Confronting Oblivion in our first Vidoc, which we watched earlier. only 1 in the chat. A couple zeros. A couple 2s. -2. Check out that if you haven't watched it yet. It was pretty good. Oh, here we go. Part 2. Tomorrow. Excitement. Is there going to be a part 3? I don't know. A hunter goes into the traveler. If you haven't seen this yet, I'll let people experience that on their own. No spoilies to those who may be behind. Okay, follow the world's first race on Twitch Rivals. The new raid coming with the final shape will take the fight to the witness and prevent its calamitous plans to end the world as we know it. The stakes are higher, or at their highest, and fire teams across the globe will compete and test their might to be the first group that completes the raid to take home the coveted world's first belt. Reminder, by the way, for those of you either here in the Twitch chat or watching on YouTube, I will be streaming the Day 1 raid race. I don't think I'll be in competition with Pepper Geppetto or any of those top 0.0001% elite ballers, but I've gotten every Day 1 clear for a while now. So tune in and can't wait to see you there. Where was I? We wanted to celebrate such an occasion properly. So in partnership with Twitch Rivals, we'll have a world's first race broadcast covering some of the streamers participating in the race with commentary conducted by returning hosts Professor Broman and Rec1568. If you're a creator looking to be a part of the event, signups begin today and will be open until June 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Registered and approved creators will be provided with the following Twitch drop. Ooh, okay. Twitch drop? I'm gonna sign up for that. I think we were involved in the Crota one, or was it Rolk? I can't remember. I'll sign up for that. That way people watching me, you get the Twitch drop. Okay, cool. Registered and approved creators will get the following exclusive Twitch drop with the world first race taking place. Stand in Salvation Emblem. Watch at least 2 hours of any approved D2 streamer. Hell yeah. I like that. It's kind of cool. I dig that. Roots Remain Emblem. Watch at least 2 hours of Destiny 2. Oh, I see. So this is any D2 streamer, and then this one is for those who are under the umbrella of Twitch Rivals. Ooh, I like that one even more. So cosmic. Global Twitch Badge. Ghost Chat Badge. Watch 15 minutes of the Final Shape raid. 15 minutes? Oh man, anyone can do that. Get your pretty guns. Earlier this week, we increased the drop rate for brave weapons and trophies of bravery, as well as increased the reputation gains with shacks. These increases will remain until D2 Into the Light ends on June 3rd. Are you under the umbrella of Twitch Rivals? I will be. Almost guaranteed. We know you're swimming in loot right now, and we want to up the ante one more time before the limited edition versions of the brave weapons are no longer available. Get your shiny shit, people! Starting on May 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will be doubling the drop chance of limited... Oh, shit. May 28th, honey, they're doubling the drop rate, or doubling the drop chance of shiny brave weapons. Starting May 28th. Yeah, from May 28th until June 3rd. You want to get a shiny Edge Transit with me? She has one already. You need a shiny mountaintop? I'm there, bro. All right, starting on... Okay, we already read that. So that combined with the increases we made to weapon and token drops will give you a lot of opportunities to grab a few more pretty guns with pretty rolls. Let's go. Happy hunting. Great. Oh, you know what you should do? I might do a little bit more now to save up my tokens, and that way... Because you can get shinies from turning in tokens at the Hall of Champions, I'm pretty sure, too. Okay. Anyway, abilities and armor tuning. As we did last week with weapons, this week we had a 2-part ability and exotic armor tuning preview for y'all. The first part was published on Wednesday and focused on how light and dark subclasses are changing. We went over a lot of impactful changes like Stasis getting new frost armor, Suppressor Nades getting a buff, and some supers getting an adjustment or two. You can read all about it here. The second part was focused on armor tuning. Some exotics will now have the frost armor as part of their set, while some oldies like Sixth Coyote and Ursa Furiosa landed new tricks. And let's not forget about the option to include an artifice slot on all exotic pieces. You can find all the information here. That is a pretty good sum up of that otherwise fairly mid article. After you're done reading the TWID, we recommend you take some time to read those articles. They are good. Or you can watch my video from the other day. They will help you jump into the final shape with the best possible understanding of how the sandbox will work. Introducing Pathfinder. The World Systems team has a very important update to share, one we have teased in the past. Why don't we talk about Pathfinder? What is Pathfinder? Pathfinder is a brand new pursuit system we're introducing in Destiny 2 that consolidates bounties, patrols, and weekly vendor challenges into one streamlined system you can access anytime, anywhere via the Director. Different Pathfinders can be accessed from relevant screens of the Director by selecting the Pathfinder node or using a hotkey for quick and easy access to the system. Okay. Kind of like a choose your own adventure type deal going on here. When you open a Pathfinder, you will be presented with 20 objectives divided into 5 tiers, leading to every Guardian's favorite thing, big, shiny loot. To reach that loot, you must complete objectives and claim them to form a path from the leftmost tier to the right. While you can progress through all objectives on a Pathfinder without restriction, you will need to claim at least one objective in each tier before you can claim an objective in the following tier. Okay. Every time you claim an objective, you will receive rewards, progressing your path towards the final reward and opening new potential paths. Building a path to the final reward allows you to claim it, and claiming the final reward opens a new opportunity, resetting your Pathfinder. Got it. Resetting. Can you just get unlimited rewards then? Resetting your Pathfinder will cost Glimmer, but it will give you a new set of objectives to complete and a new final reward to pursue. These new cards are built using a mixture of authorial control and procedural generation. So once you start resetting, your cards will diverge from those of other Guardians. As long as you still have the Glimmer to do so, you can continue to reset Pathfinder cards after claiming final rewards as many times as you want each week, but the value of the final reward will diminish with resets of your card to a point. However, with every weekly reset, the value of final rewards will also reset. Okay. Your objective progress will be lost. Okay. And every Guardian will start the week with the same fresh card. Interesting. Will they tailor to what you're doing? I don't think they will, but... yeah, interesting. Okay, so you can get unlimited rewards doing that, although the power will eventually diminish. PvE, it is kind of like a PvE Trials card. Do we know what the loot is? Where is Pathfinder? Why is Pathfinder? Okay, where is Pathfinder? The Final Shape will launch with 2 Pathfinders, one available to all Guardians that replaces the bounty systems and weekly challenges for our core ritual activities, and one that you will unlock in the Pale Heart as part of the expansions campaign. The Rituals Pathfinder provides you with a set of objectives that span all our ritual activities: Vanguard Strikes, Nightfalls, Onslaught, Gambit, and Crucible. What's Gambit? Some of these objectives can be completed in any of these activities, while others will require you to dive into a specific ritual or mode. An update later in the year of the Final Shape will make it even easier to get these ritual screens while you are in their activities, as well as make it easier to access the Ritual Pathfinder. Got it. Okay, so that is why they wanted us to kill holding all ritual bounties. Not every bounty, but like don't bounty hoard Vanguard PvP Gambit shit, because that is out. Pathfinder is in. Why is Pathfinder? When we set out to build Pathfinder, we had 4 core goals. The first goal was consolidation. D2 is an enormous game that has evolved constantly over the last decade. Many pursuit systems have been added to the game over time, and these systems are accessed in a myriad of different ways that make it difficult for Guardians, experienced or not, to understand what they can be doing at any given point in time. Excuse me. We set out to build one system that has the capability of aligning all of these into one cohesive UI you can always access from wherever you are. Oh, did I skip a paragraph? Oh, excuse me. I did? Oh, I must have skipped this one. I'll go back in time. While we don't want to reveal too much about the new destination, you can expect the kinds of objectives on the Pale Heart Pathfinder to roughly align with what you'd expect to see from destination bounties, with the addition of some new location-based objectives called field assignments. When field assignments are featured on your Pathfinder, you can expect to see them marked directly on your destination map, where you can track them to take advantage of our waypoint system to help navigate to their location. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Sure. Back to what I was reading earlier. Let's just reread it. Why is Pathfinder? When we set out to build Pathfinder, we had 4 core goals. The first was consolidation. D2 is an enormous game that has evolved constantly over the last decade. Many pursuit systems have been added to the game over time, and these systems are accessed in a myriad of different ways that make it difficult for Guardians, experienced or not, to understand what they can be doing at any given point in time. I feel like new players are really overwhelmed with what to do when they first get into the game. They're like, what the fuck do I do? We set out to build one system that has the capability of aligning all of these into one cohesive UI you can always access from wherever you are. Our second goal was to give players more agency. Bounty systems in D2 typically let Guardians pick from a handful of fixed bounties that reset each day, and provide repeatable bounties for those who wish to further engage with the system. These limited choices result in a system that feels prescriptive about how you should play, instead of putting you in control. We want Guardians to feel ownership over their engagement with these systems, with the ability to chart a course that matches the goals of their play session. Good fucking call. Okay, here's a great example. You got, I'm assuming what you can do with Pathfinder is probably hover over each objective, and it'll be like so. Even, yeah. So you can hover over everything, even if you're not on the path to that next objective. You can just kind of hover over it and see what it is. And they have these symbols here too. That made it smaller. They have these symbols here too. So you can see, like, for example, I would be completely avoiding the Gambit path, like 100%. But if you enjoy Gambit, you can take the Gambit path, right? Good for you. With that in mind, our third goal was making decisions matter a bit more. Our existing pursuit systems consist largely of disconnected individual objectives that have no effect on each other. In many cases, a Guardian's decision regarding these objectives are limited to doing or not doing a particular objective, or spending Glimmer to reroll repeatable bounties they don't like. Pathfinder's path-based system incentivizes Guardians to complete objectives that may otherwise be out of their comfort zone to achieve a more direct path to their final reward. It also allows Guardians to forge a more elongated path around objectives that don't call out to them. As their options diminish closer to the final reward, Guardians will be challenged to engage with a particular activity, mode, or playstyle to acquire more rewards. And finally, our fourth goal was to reduce barriers because, why don't we face it, much of our time as Guardians is spent zipping between destinations to play, to prepare to play the game. Right. Flying to the tower, flying to the helm, flying to Europa. It all takes time that we could be spending fending off the witness and thwarting its universe-threatening plan to enact the final shape. Right. With Pathfinder, you already have your objectives, and they're always progressing as you play, whether they are locked or unlocked. There's no need to visit a vendor or use the Destiny app to grab bounties. Okay. No need to balance your inventory of quests and bounties, and no need to travel to vendors to claim your reward for a weekly challenge. Golf fucking clap. That is a good change. That is a good change. About Destination Pathfinder. The rewards are designed to encourage completing many paths over many objectives in each Pathfinder. If you want to maximize your weekly rewards, your best bet is to plan your optimal path. Sure. Okay, we got rewards here. Objective reward, 25 vendor rep, 4,000 XP. Path completion reward, first path. Redacted. Exotic. I wonder what that could be. Powerful tier 3 engram, pale heart gear. 1 rank of vendor reputation, 25,000 XP. Okay. Path completion reward, second path. Interesting. Redacted exotic, pale heart engram, focusable. 375 vendor rep, 25k XP. Path completion rewards 1 through 3, third path. The pale heart engram, focusable. 375 vendor rep, 25,000 XP. Path completion rewards repeatable. World legendary engram, 150 vendor reputation, 4,000 XP. So they are adding a... Okay, yeah, that is a diminished return for sure. But still, pretty cool. Objectives. Oh, they're just giving literally... Oh, these are just... Okay. Calibrations. Directly replace bounties. Most common objective category on the Pale Heart Pathfinder. Example objectives. In the Pale Heart, defeat combatants of a certain faction. In the Pale Heart, defeat combatants using weapons that match your subclass damage type. Field assignments. Players must go to locations in the Pale Heart and complete a custom encounter that only appears while the objective is active. This is the second most common objective category in the Pale Heart Pathfinder. In the Pale Heart, travel to Redacted and claim a reward for defeating Redacted. In the Pale Heart... Okay, great. Cool. Ventures. I need to drink more water today. A lot of reading. Destination-focused activities and objectives. Only 2 per the Pale Heart Pathfinder. Only appear in the tier before the final reward. In the Pale Heart, do a bunch of redacted shit. Got it. Okay, great. We're already in redacted territory, apparently. About Rituals Pathfinder. Why don't we talk about ritual activities? Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard vendor bounties will be replaced by a unified Ritual Pathfinder. A single instance of Pathfinder will contain objectives specific to each ritual activity, as well as generic objectives that can be completed in any of the 3 ritual activities. Okay? Additionally, on weeks when there is an active reputation booster, the first 3 instances of Pathfinder will contain more objectives associated with that ritual activity. So if the Crucible Reputation Booster is active, Pathfinder will contain more Crucible-specific objectives until after the 3rd reset. Okay. Completing an objective node awards experience, like individual bounty completion. Completing a path is designed to be akin to completing a weekly vendor bounty challenge, i.e. completion rewards include Prime Engrams, Bright Dust, and Experience. Okay. Throwing Bright Dust in there. Nice. However, where vendor challenges are limited to 3 per week per character, Pathfinder progress is shared across all characters and is infinitely repeatable. Due to these differences, the reward amounts have been redistributed accordingly. Okay. First 3 completions. Prime Engram, Enhancement Prism, 150 Bright Dust, 25,000 XP. Next 7 completions. Enhancement Prism, 150 Bright Dust, 4,000 XP. Subsequent completions. So you can get technically unlimited Bright Dust by doing this? I mean, kind of a huge drop-off, right? Going from 150 to 30. But still. We hope you now have a better understanding of what Pathfinder is and how it'll change how you play ritual activities and explore the new destination. Updating the quest tab. We have already shed some light on the UI and UX changes coming with the Final Shape, particularly how the on-screen information channels have been updated to show buffs, debuffs, and the weapon perks in a more organized way. Let's talk about some other quality of life updates that we've introduced in the quest tab. Can we finally delete quests that are undeletable? Okay. Starting on June 4th, players will be able to set any quest category on the left column as the default when you enter the quest tab. At the same time, all milestones will now show up on the quest tab, although they will not count against the total amount of quests and bounties that a player can hold in their inventory, and will still be able to hold up to 63 total. For players who want to keep everything more organized, we have also updated the quest tab so that tracking quests in individual categories will now bring them to the front of the sort order in the quest tab. Okay. And last but not least, if you hover over a quest in the quest tab, it will let you know when you can launch it directly from the details screen. Oh, actually interesting. So now it's more straightforward to get from checking it to playing it. These changes to the quest tab are not the only quality of life changes we've made to our menus. We have also integrated reputation boosts into the ritual activity nodes at the top of the director screen. So when those are active throughout an episode, players will get that information at a glance. Okay. Speaking of ritual activities, we've also redesigned the private match screen for both Crucible and Gambit to allow for greater ease of use and more customizable options that will give players some rewards. We hope you like them. Okay, great. Sure, why not? Thanks very much for watching. Leave your thoughts on these changes below. See you next time.